From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A Texas community on edge tonight as police investigate 3 deadly bombings believed to be connected.
Drive-through drama. Police get a call when a fast food customer just refuses to leave.
Chemical concerns take center stage.
Who runs something to someone without saying, just letting you know that the groundwater and the soil is contaminated.
Business owners demanding answers after being forced to close. Past businesses of a gas station and dry cleaner are coming back to haunt the Franklin Village Plaza.
As the state was cleaning up contamination in the groundwater and the soil, it discovered air contamination. That led to a discovery of volatile chemicals under one business last week.
That forced a shutdown. Jason Colthorpe is in Franklin tonight following a tense meeting. Jason, what do we know tonight?
Well, Kim, we know what these volatile chemicals are. The DEQ getting those results at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's a mixture of PCE, the chemical they thought it was, which is an old dry cleaning chemical, and also old fuel oil, all mixed in one tank sitting underneath this plaza, likely for at least the last 40 years. Former business owners and current business owners demanding answers tonight.
Standing room only at the Franklin Council meeting as questions about contamination at the Village Plaza were answered by the Department of Environmental Quality and the County Health Department.
And so my landlord knew about that?
Business owners were emotional and angry as they wondered who knew what and when.
I'm actually so livid.
The village said it only learned of the contamination this month, but the DEQ says the current owner knew in 2010 when she did her due diligence in buying the property. Legally, what was required, but a former tenant asks, what about morally?
Knowing that the building that I rented from my landlord, she knew that it was contaminated in 2010. She knew the groundwater and the soil was contaminated, but kept it to herself. As I said, I have students who are young and girls and who can have babies still, and now I'm worried about them, right? They've been exposed to these chemicals.
We tried to get answers from the owner of the Village Plaza as she left tonight. Business owners who are worried that maybe you should have told them that this was contaminated?
Shocked, you know, I didn't know it.
Well, I understand that you're shocked, but do you feel responsible not saying anything to those folks that rented the shops?
I asked both her and her husband, and they said all the numbers were great. So I had nothing to worry about.
You felt like you were lied to, though?
Yeah, I did. I do.
And still people wondering what are those health effects in dealing with this exposure. Now, the owner of Fritz and Friends, which is around the back, telling me tonight she's going to close, does not plan to reopen, just doesn't see how she can. The DEQ will be here tomorrow removing those chemicals. We'll be here and check it out. Kimberly?
They'll be there tomorrow, Jason, but at what point can those shops reopen?
Yeah, they wanted to know that too. Now, the DEQ has a few dates. They have a best date, and you can see that the notice remains up. 9 days from now is best guess. They said if they have a realistic date of a week after that, the following Wednesday, and a worst case of a week after that, which would be 23 days from now. So these folks really hoping that comes sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Kim?
Really hard for a small business owner to survive like that. Okay. Jason, we appreciate it. And we do have this information just into the newsroom. Belleville High School is closed tomorrow because of a threat that was called into 911. The district is asking anyone who knows anything about the threat to call police. All other Van Buren schools, though, will remain open. This is just for the high school, Belleville High School.
Now let's get to the newest information from Austin, Texas, where residents are on alert after 2 bombs disguised as packages exploded today. 1 person was killed, 2 others hurt. Tonight, investigators say today's blasts are connected to a 3rd that happened less than 2 weeks ago. Jermont Terry following this from our newsroom. Jermont.
Devin, after 3 explosions since the start of March, investigators are convinced there's no doubt they are all connected. But the looming question tonight, who is behind these deadly packages left on porches?
If the package that is delivered to your doorstep looks suspicious in any way, call 911.
That's the plea from authorities in Austin, Texas. So far, 2 people have been killed, 2 others badly hurt. Monday afternoon, 2 packages exploded at homes, items left at front doors. Tonight, there's a desperate search to find the person or people behind these crimes. A 75-year-old woman picked up a package only to get seriously injured.
There was glass inside the box. When she picked up the package, as soon as she picked it up, it detonated. Boom, exploded.
Just a few miles away earlier, another explosion.
There was a package that exploded inside of the home.
A 17-year-old boy was killed and a woman wounded in their kitchen. There are 3 explosions in 10 days. It started on March 2nd. Anthony House was killed in what investigators thought was suspicious originally. Now his death is considered a homicide.
This evidence makes us believe that these incidents are related.
Investigators say all 3 packages were quietly left at the doorsteps of the homes. They don't know if the victims were targeted, but they fear whoever is responsible is dangerous and could be a serial bomber.
The bomber is very specific. They know how to make the triggering mechanism. They know how to kill. This is a bomber who knows how to kill.
And that's some scary stuff. As you can imagine, there is most definitely concern and anxiety in those communities. The message from police tonight, if you get a package delivered to your front door and you don't know where it came from, simply call 911. Do not pick it up. Reporting live in the newsroom tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Okay, Jermont. I'm over here in the weather pod right now giving Ben the side eye because I'm sick of hearing about this. The snow. Come on. We got spring.
Giving me the business.
That's right. I'm giving you the business.
You know what? Not very many people seeing it, but where it's at, it's fairly intense. In fact, we've been seeing this little curl that's showing up on 4 Live radar. It almost looks like a mini hurricane that's sort of been moving through the area. And the reason that curl is what we call a meso-low. It's a low pressure center, but it's on a very small scale. And that tightly little wound area has dropped some decent snowfall and also reduced visibilities across the area. And you see it's ran through the airport. I want to show you a time lapse of our cameras that caught this just about 30 minutes ago. And you see everything looks fine. And then boom, somebody just drops the curtain as that snow squall goes through. And then visibilities come back as that starts to leave. Right now, the visibility at the airport 6 miles was down to 1 mile earlier tonight. But that's pretty much it. Once that area goes through, there's a few flurries behind that. Those will dry out overnight, and we will be dry and cold to start the morning. But another round of snow as we get into the afternoon. We'll discuss that and some hopefully warmer temperatures in a few minutes. Devin?
All right, Ben. Disturbing new evidence revealed today in the case against a man accused of running over an Oakland County Sheriff's deputy. Christopher Barrick was bound over for trial this afternoon. He broke down as prosecutors showed the video of him allegedly driving the car that hit Deputy Eric Overall last November. Prosecutors say he led deputies on the chase before hitting Overall at an intersection in Brandon Township. Barrick is charged with first-degree premeditated murder.
A Shelby Township man faced a judge today to hear his charges for allegedly making threats to shoot up a local mall. Police arrested 20-year-old Tyler Tyndall after they received multiple tips that he was planning to attack Lakeside Mall in Sterling Heights. A judge charged Tyndall with making a threat of terrorism, which is a 20-year prison sentence. He's due back in court March 26th.
Business comes to a stop at a McDonald's drive-thru tonight when a customer is told the restaurant doesn't have the sandwich he ordered. Tim Pamplin is there with the night cam.
Well, when the Big Mac cravings occur late night, there's not much you can do. The driver of this red car is now in a standoff. Police have been called. He ordered the Grand Mac on the app. Pulls up, the manager says we don't have that. And he's decided to take a stand. He's not going anywhere. I just got a chance to speak to this Grand Mac aficionado a few moments ago.
They're telling me they don't make that anymore. And they wouldn't give me my money back, they wouldn't cancel the order, so I said I'm not leaving.
So here we are. Police, I just overheard the police officer down there saying participating locations only. Apparently this is not one of those. He's not getting the message. Hopefully this gets sorted out soon and these officers can go do with some more pressing situations. That's the scene along Mack Avenue tonight. With the nightcap, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Give him his money back. Leave. Okay. Palmer Park Academy will be closed tomorrow due to concerns about the facility. The school had a plan to replace the roof, but damage from water concerns, and the school had to close. Environmental cleanup crews began working to address water damage and test for harmful mold. Staff will hold a special meeting tomorrow to discuss exactly how to move forward.
New tonight, it takes a village to stop a driver from taking off after running into several cars. How a group of strangers banded together.
Also tonight, 5 people injured at a popular water park in Ohio. What happened at a pool inside the Kalahari Resort.
First, he's seen a lot in his 30-plus years as men's basketball coach at Oakland University, but he didn't see one thing coming.
I can fight through this. I'm going to be fine. You know, that's what I was thinking.
Coach Greg Kampe's battle off the court and what he wants you to learn from it.
In Ann Arbor, to me,
He's faced countless challenges on the basketball court, but this was no game.
And all of a sudden, the lights went off and code red was yelled.
Coach Kampe's obsession with basketball was almost his undoing, but it may have also helped save his life.
I'm fighting through this. I can grind, I can get through it.
Yeah, 8 months ago, Oakland University basketball coach Greg Kampe nearly died.
Tonight, he's sharing his story so it can help save someone else's life. Our Jamie Edmonds has a one-on-one with the coach.
Basketball season did not end the way Coach Greg Kampe had hoped. No Horizon League title, no NCAA tournament bid. Well, if you remember, it didn't start the way he would have ever dreamed. Now he's lucky to be alive, which is helping him put a tough year into perspective. It happened last July when Oakland head basketball coach Greg Kampe was out of town on a recruiting trip.
My assistant coach looked at me and said, "Your eyes are yellow." And I was really, really sick. So
Kampe thought it was the flu, something he could shake off. But after finally getting back to Detroit, he went to the emergency room.
The nurse put the thermometer and pulled it out. I could tell something was really wrong. And you know, she said, "You're 106.7. And all of a sudden the lights went off and code red was yelled and it was like rapid response to room 405.
Kampe had sepsis. The kidney stone surgery he had neglected led to an infection in his blood.
They told me that if I had gone to bed and gone to sleep and tried to sleep it off, I would not have survived.
He spent 5 days in the ICU and took months to recover. Once he was back on his feet, it was back to basketball.
There's a reason you survived it. This is going to be the greatest year ever.
This season would be unlike any other in his 34 years at Oakland. It had the highest expectations. Conference title, sure, plus serious NCAA tournament hopes.
We're getting preseason votes in the top 25. This is going to be the year. You know,
but much like his health scare, what happened on the court this season was so unexpected. Sophomore guard Braylon Neely went down and needed knee surgery. Junior center Brad Brechting had foot surgery in September and never returned. Then they lost their star guard, Martez Walker, for the season with a broken left ankle. Count it, 5 scholarship players lost to injury.
Martez went down in the Detroit game, and we changed the way we played. You know, we went from a team averaging 80 points a game to scoring in the 60s. We know what the moment is.
Oakland's season would end in the Horizon League tournament semifinal, a heartbreaking 1-point loss to Cleveland State. A gut punch, especially for the seniors.
The nicest kids, they're ambassadors of this university, and I didn't get them to the NCAA tournament, and I feel really bad about that. These young men are great kids, and they start as boys and they leave as men, and it's a process that I'm very proud of.
Now that another off-season is upon Kampe, he promises to slow down. It's best for his health, but he can't sit still. Enter bowling.
Sitting down and reading a book's great, but it doesn't thrill me. You know, it educates me, but it doesn't thrill me. I want to compete.
So he does, with his friends, every Wednesday in a bowling league. He admits he's not the best at throwing strikes.
What goes through my mind is I hope I don't throw it in the gutter.
But it's not about the score for him. It's about getting away from the stresses of his day job and having fun. While this last year wasn't always roses, it's the thorns that will help him grow as a man and as a basketball coach. Now, Coach Kampe says it's bowling for him in the winter and golfing for him in the summer, but it's cooking that's the thing he does the best. And he would argue that, you know, he's pretty good at coaching, and he told us he hopes to have 15 more coaching years left in him. Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
Pretty good at coaching. He's not going to sit down.
And we always love having him around here. He's so great to be around. He's just a fun guy. Really great.
Is.
Yep.
All right, here's a look at what Sandra Ali is working on for tomorrow night.
You inspired me to be the person I want to be and are living proof that the hardest things in life prove to be the most worthwhile.
It all started with a simple thank you.
I'm that one weird person who still does everything the old-fashioned way.
A note from a Metro Detroit teen who happens to be an aspiring astronaut.
She's just such a good, kind person.
I'm Sandra Ali. What happened next led to a surprise trip that's out of this world.
I'm astronaut Chris Cassidy. How are you guys doing there?
Tomorrow at 11.
Whoa! Did you hear that in the classroom? That was great. Is it snowing right now?
Yes, it is. In some spots. You're done with it, aren't you?
I'm ready to move on.
I'm giving him the side eye.
She did. She's very effective at that. And maybe it'll work, but we do have one more day to get through. I wanted to show you a second look at this little mini snow hurricane that ran through. It caught our attention on the radar. You can see that little curl. It does look like what you would see out in the Atlantic in the middle of summer, but this is what we call a mesolow. It's still a low pressure center. It's very close to, or I should say, a related cousin to the hurricane, but we see lows on all kinds of scales. Out in the Atlantic, tropical, you see them here over the states in pretty big patterns, and you see them in really small patterns like that one that rolled through the area. So there was some intense snow. It's weakened a little bit, but still dropping some moderate snow there across Wayne County from the airport downriver. Get up north a little bit, and there's some snow out here north of 69. That stuff's light, and as we get through the nighttime hours, this stuff is going to gradually become lighter. Shawi got in earlier on storm pins. The snow coming down pretty good earlier as the sun was up, but not everybody got it. We saw those snow showers just in fits and starts today, but you can see the general direction. Everything is coming almost out of the due north, and those disturbances are working to push this trough even deeper. This is where the cold air is bottled up, so as it continues to push that trough south, the warmth in the center part of the country is moving further to the north, but it's also staying there at least until we get into the weekend. These disturbances eventually leave, and that's what's going to allow those warmer temperatures to come in, but it's going to be Saturday and Sunday before we even get back to average. So we are below freezing right now at 30 at the airport, a lot of 20s here north of 8 Mile, and tomorrow we're going to be about 10 degrees below average as well. So here's how the snow shakes out. Overnight we should dry up. Tomorrow morning, as we head towards the end of the commute, there may be a few snow showers around in our north zone, but generally we're looking at the afternoon for things to start becoming active again. And there will be those snow squalls around, so it's not the accumulation we're worried about, it's the visibility, because again, we're going to have temperatures in the mid 30s, so not a lot of that's going to stick, but high pressure settles in behind that, and we will finish the week dry. 26 tonight, high temperatures tomorrow, again, similar to what we saw today, but we're going to start with some of the warmest numbers here in our metro zone. 36 is as good as it gets tomorrow. There will be some spots that don't make it above freezing. South zone, not one of them, though. 33 to 35 there. Get into our west zone up into Genesee County. That's where we're going to just touch the freezing mark. And in our north zone, especially in Sanilac and Lapeer counties, not getting above 32 tomorrow, but we will going into the weekend. 38 Wednesday, the 40s show up Thursday and Friday, and then there's Saturday and Sunday. While a lot of us are celebrating at the local establishment indoors, there's going to be plenty of sunshine outside. 45 for
That's what we said. We mentioned last week. The parade was yesterday in Corktown, so you can actually make a week of it if you plan it all right.
And some people probably
will. There's no doubt about it.
That's right. All right, there's something missing from Buick's newest vehicles. Why the automaker is removing its name from its latest cars.
Also, 5 people injured when sections of ductwork fall into a kiddie pool at the popular Kalahari Resort. We'll be right back.
A scary moment at a water park in Ohio. According to the Erie County Sheriff's Office, sections of ductwork fell into the kiddie and wave pools at the Kalahari Water Park in Sandusky. 5 people were hurt. The park remains closed until local and state officials determine the park is safe.
A group of strangers in Miami banded together to drop the hammer on a hit-and-run driver. Witnesses say the driver of the silver SUV ran into several cars and then tried to take off. The drivers he allegedly hit tried to stop him, and one of them, I mentioned they dropped the hammer. It turned out to be a sledgehammer that they took to his window. The driver did manage to escape, but police caught him a short time later. They believe he was under the influence of drugs at the time. If you're preparing to buy a new Buick, it may look a little different. The car brand is ditching their name from its 2019 vehicles, starting with the new Envision. The name usually appears on the left side near the taillight, but Buick is counting on the recognition power of their Tri-Shield logo. The Buick-less Envision arrives at dealers coming up this spring.
Talk about a death-defying stunt. A woman in Greece performs an aerial dance while dangling from a bridge. Take a look there. The reason? To draw attention to iconic landmarks in Greece, both man-made and natural. It's part of a string of performances called Greece Has Soul. The bridge she danced underneath was completed in 2004 for the Summer Olympics in Athens.